Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Ex-Federal Reserve discusses Ripple and XRP role in US public policy. Interesting. Okay guys, thought I'd share this with you because I found this really interesting. I had a quick glance at the article just to see what was going on in this, and I thought I'd share this with you guys because I know when you look at the headline you may not be as grabbed by it, but there's two things I want to share with you about this. First and foremost, I just want to reflect on the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit as it's coming to a close, and this just goes hand in hand with the article, and it's just in regards to how much of a big deal Ripple have played in the crypto space finding legal clarity. And I don't think people realize that right now. I think when you look in the future, you know, when crypto has been mass adopted and, you know, regulations are here and we start to look back at how all this was to come to pass, I think we'll see that Ripple played a huge part in making the crypto space safer for not just XRP, but the crypto space as a whole. And of course, they probably won't get the credit for that because you know how it is. People are very tribal with their coins and people were happy to see Ripple get sued and ultimately XRP holders due to ignorance. But that's the thing. I think us as XRP holders, of course, we were frustrated by this and we didn't want it to be us. Obviously, we would have rather it been anyone else. But we had to endure something that no other crypto holders have had to go through. And that is the uncertainty of the lawsuit, right? Like when this lawsuit first came through by the SEC, we didn't know how it was going to pan out, right? We really didn't know. Like Ripple could have lost that lawsuit. So we had to stick to our convictions and our beliefs that XRP and Ripple, you know, it wasn't a security. Ripple had done nothing wrong. And we had to stick to our conviction that we believed that we would end up being justified in our beliefs and that we were showing that Ripple had done nothing wrong. Now, luckily on the main front in regards to the retail sales, that was correct. Obviously, they're still hashing out the institutional sales. But I think this is the thing. Now that this has happened, what you have to understand is that the coast is a bit more clear now. So what I mean by that is, when there are other cryptos that may get a lawsuit, well, for the crypto holders, they may not be as scared as what they would have been before the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, right? Because they've got to see how it all pans out. So they can say, oh, well, you know, Ripple fought them and they were fine. They won in the end. So it's all good. We'll just let this play out in the courts. It's frustrating, yes, of course, but we'll just stick to our conviction and everything will be all good. Now, that's not to say it's always going to be a guarantee, but I think the fact of the matter is we've seen that they can win. A crypto company can win, right? So it's not as scary as it was before because we didn't know what was going to happen. And now that we've seen that Judge Torres ruled that XRP in of itself cannot be a security, there's a bit more clarity, right? It's not set in stone. It's not like 100% clear, but it's a lot clearer than what it was. And so we've really had to take a lot of the arrows for the rest of the crypto space, right? We really have. And we've made it a lot safer. And so there's a lot more comfort now. There's a lot less uncertainty than there was before. And I don't think we'll ever get the props for that of what we've had to go through because, again, tribalism. But I do think when it's all said and done and we look back, we'll have seen how much of a big role Ripple has played in regards to getting legal clarity within the United States via XRP. And two, the second thing I just wanted to address, we've got here someone who's an ex-Federal Reserve officer working for Ripple. Now, doesn't that speak volumes to you? Doesn't that say a lot for someone who was working at the Federal Reserve and is now working at Ripple? I think that says a lot, and I think that just goes to show you that Ripple really is a big deal. When you've got people who are the caliber of the Federal Reserve and they're now working for Ripple, I think that says what people think of Ripple as a company and what they're trying to do. I think that says a lot. But let's get into the article and then we can discuss this a little bit further. A former Federal Reserve official calls attention to the role Ripple and XRP play in shaping the crypto public policy scene in the United States. Greg Kidd, a former senior analyst at the Federal Reserve Board for Payments, discussed this while speaking at the just concluded XRP Las Vegas 2024 conference. Kidd, who also served as an early Ripple employee, commended the firm for how far they have come. Kidd discusses his switch to Ripple. In his remarks, the Nevada Congress candidate emphasized that he first heard about Ripple while working at the Federal Reserve, noting that the San Francisco-based payments company, which at the time was an emerging one, caught his attention due to its promise. Quote, "I did go from working for the Federal Reserve, which was the deep state, to a poker game with other deep state players like from Google and Visa, and they talked about this new company. There was no Bitcoin company, but there was a company called Ripple," unquote, Kidd remarked. According to him, Ripple's module was similar to the Bitcoin ledger at the time, but included 2 more columns on the spreadsheet, with one of these columns dedicated to the issuer and the other for the currency. He expressed gratitude to 2 of the XRP ledger's original architects, Arthur Britto and David Schwartz, for taking time to educate him on the, quote, future, unquote. Kidd confirmed that this move made him pivot from the, quote, history world at the Federal Reserve to the whole new universe that XRP and Ripple brought, unquote. Ripple's role in shaping public policy. It bears mentioning that Greg Kidd joined Ripple as a Chief Risk Officer in 2013. He disclosed that at the time he discussed risk management and compliance with Chris Larsen, Ripple's executive chairman. However, Larsen was doubtful of the necessity of this effort, as Ripple had no compliance issues back then. Ripple has so far had to battle the US SEC for over 3 years on issues of compliance since December 2020, when the agency filed a lawsuit against the firm. The legal battle marked one of the first cases of enforcement actions against the crypto firm, and Ripple has continued to fight the SEC. The lawsuit led to the declaration of XRP as a non-security by a US court. With the SEC now battling multiple crypto companies, including Coinbase and Binance US, this ruling could be cited by these firms to dismiss the SEC securities allegations. Recall that Terraform Labs already cited the ruling in its case against the SEC. Commenting on this reality, Kidd expressed pride in Ripple's role in shaping the public policy in the US, especially in the crypto scene. Multiple industry commentators have identified Ripple as being at the forefront of this fight against regulatory uncertainty in the United States. Okay guys, okay. Interesting. So yeah guys, as I was saying earlier, I think we have to understand what we've been through. I really do. And obviously, I'm sure you guys do feel it because we've basically missed the bull run. We've actually seen a bull run come and go due to the SEC lawsuit. So I'm sure we feel it in terms of our frustration. But in the future, when we look back, like we've been a part of history watching crypto grow like this. And while it's been frustrating in terms of seeing this whole lawsuit pass out, we've also had the opportunity to be here before many other people do get involved. And so while it has been frustrating to go through this lawsuit, I'm just happy that I'm here because I could be someone who misses the boat, right? I could be someone who just missed the boat completely. And then I'm looking back and seeing XRP and hearing about it, but it's when it's already gone up in massive amounts of value. So I'm effectively priced out. For me, I'm just grateful to have this opportunity because I believe I'm going to make life-changing wealth from XRP at some point. So while I've had to endure some of the frustrations of the lawsuit, overall, I'm just happy that I'm in a good position to benefit from XRP when it does take off. And so, as I say, we've had to take a lot as XRP holders, and a lot of the crypto space will never understand that because they've not had to be the first ones to go through such a big lawsuit, right? There's a lot of people now, if like, for example, Cardano was to get sued tomorrow, yeah, okay, still going to be a little bit scary, but they've seen how this can pan out. They've seen that a crypto firm can win the lawsuit. We've seen that that's possible. Like when we look at ETH right now, it's looking like ETH are going to get sued. I don't think it's had nowhere near the same impact as it did when it was XRP. Why? Well, as I've just said, there's not as much concern anymore, right? And ETH have just gone offensive and they've actually sued the SEC back to try and get legal clarity. So you can already see the differences in how this is all going, right? I've seen multiple instances of the SEC just getting slapped down in court. Like we've seen that. So at the end of the day, there's enough instances here to be able to say, okay, it's very likely that the SEC will get slapped down again. It's very likely that they will lose this lawsuit. There's not as much fear, but when we was going through it, we didn't know. There was nothing like this before. There was no precedent for it. So we had to go into very uncharted territories, scared that we may lose the lawsuit, scared that we may lose money in our investment. And so we have ultimately helped the whole crypto space. Now, let's be honest, it's not something that we all have done willingly. You know, we would have much rather it been someone else, of course, let's just be honest. But at the end of the day, we've still done a favor to the whole industry through what we've had to go through, Ripple as a company. So very much playing a part there in regards to shaping the US landscape for cryptocurrencies. So I do agree, we're definitely a part of history in that regard. And secondly, as I was saying just again, as you heard just there, this guy is a former Federal Reserve employee and he left the Federal Reserve to come to Ripple. What does that tell you about Ripple? What does that tell you about XRP? Because that to me tells you that someone must have really believed in the vision, right? He must really believe in what Ripple and XRP can do. So when you're talking about this type of caliber of people, it's like Rosie Rios as well. I'm not sure if she's still working for Ripple. I believe she might have left actually, but the fact that she even came to Ripple, right? Even if she has left, the fact that she was even working with Ripple in the first place, like she's huge. Her name is on dollar bills. Like that's how big we're talking, the caliber of people who've come to work with Ripple. So they've got to be onto something here. Like these people are not going to just leave companies and put their reputation on the line to just go to some, you know, hope on a dream company, right? They're going to go to a place that's, you know, they feel has the real promising future, that really believe in what they're trying to do, the use case, right? So to me, I just think that just says a lot about Ripple and XRP. So that's what I found interesting as well. The fact it was someone of this caliber who was speaking about Ripple and XRP. So that's definitely something to take note, because that again just shows you the caliber of people who are behind Ripple. And I've said this before, when you've got people who've worked for, you know, the Federal Reserve and stuff like that, they've got connections. So who knows what could be going on behind the scenes, right? Who knows? So that's just some food for thought as well. But the main thing I will say on what we can tell from this is that there's very well-respected people with great backgrounds who are working for or working with Ripple. And that to me says a whole lot. But what do you guys think? Ex-Federal Reserve worker speaking on Ripple and XRP. Do you like the sound of this? Do you think that Ripple have helped with the legal clarity in the United States with cryptocurrencies? Do you think that this will ultimately be good for XRP's price? Or do you not like the sound of this? Is there anything that you've heard in the article that actually gives you any cause for concern? Or do you just not think that this is going to be any good for XRP's price overall long term? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.